Rome is full of all sorts of crazy art with a religious theme. But I think there's a difference what you have, which is religious art, say, for example, in an audience hall, to what you have around the altar. Because if Christ is truly present, you don't want an image to replace that presence, but to reveal that presence. Otherwise, you're denying the real presence. So, for example, if you have a didactic image, an image which is trying to bring you back to when Jesus was alive in Galilee in a naturalistic way, you know, let's imagine ourselves as you would in a Jesuit meditation, you know, at Jesus's feet.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Jesus is there now.
Right.
So, okay, there's a place for the memory, but not during the liturgy.
Okay, because it's happening right there. I mean,
Exactly. It's like my mum has a photograph of me on the sideboard. I mean, if I'm visiting my mum and she's paying more attention to the photograph than to me, there's something wrong. You know, it's like that's there because when you aren't, or as a memory that you all share, and it's just something in the background. But when I'm not there, that suddenly has a greater role, a greater importance, a greater resonance. And especially if somebody's dead, you know, it's the last connection with them. But to say that then, you know, the person's actually in the room or in the house, maybe they're not actually in that room, but they're in the next room or whatever, and the photograph is the thing, that's weird. So I think there's this sort of conversation that Catholics don't even begin to have. I've never heard anybody talk in this way. It's just not a conversation that Catholics have. You know, there's a lot of very, very, very educated, profoundly, you know, inspiring art historians who are Catholic priests, or, you know, people who are great architects and doing all sorts of stuff, but they don't talk in this way. And it's like we've lost the vocabulary of a transcendental vision of our world, you know, that we are on a journey to the hereafter, to the New Jerusalem. Like, you know, if you go into Santa Prassada, is it in Rome, and that earliest mosaic, apse mosaic of Christ with the apostles, and he's in glory in his golden robes with the sunrise depicted with those red flecked clouds. You know, it's at the altar waiting for the Lord's return. Yeah. And that's sort of the foretaste of that return is when Christ comes on the altar. So that vision of what we're doing is completely lost. You know, it's either sentimental, oh, well, it's all one big happy family, and, you know, it's all my favorite saints and stuff, if you do get something that's heavenly. But at least in the Baroque, you know, the way in which the ceiling is opened up, that's just making it all real. You know, you are before heaven as the Lord is descending in the sacrament, and you know, it's a foretaste of when the Lord returns in glory and all that sort of stuff. Our art doesn't talk about that. And that's, I think, for Catholics who are iconographers, this is one of the real problems we have, because how do we articulate this vision of the liminal image in the context which has been so stripped of its eternal destiny? So for me, that's where I think my struggle is. You know, what am I doing? I'm doing an icon of the Sacred Heart. I've done one before, and this is for the same priest in the States. Actually, he's moved to a new parish and he wants another icon of the Sacred Heart. And last time I basically did a pantocrator with a heart, not here, but sort of Christ holding it.
Okay.
And that was with a fountain and lambs and all sorts of things. It's quite a nice composition, but it's still very much trying to be a Byzantine icon and working in that. This time, I'm looking more at what Margaret Mary Alacoque saw, how she described what she saw, and trying to translate that into a liminal image, and one which is maybe not trying so hard to be a Byzantine icon, but is just trying to be a good liminal image of the Sacred Heart. And so, like with this sort of medieval English breadth of possibilities, and with my Byzantine training and nous, I'm trying to do something. And that I just had a bit of a thought that probably what I'll do, when you reading what Margaret Mary actually said, she said it was the heart was on a throne of flames and was like crystal. Now, that made me think of the book of Revelation, where the New Jerusalem is this translucent, crystal, precious stones and stuff, all luminous. But also with the icon of Saint Michael, when the angels hold the translucent globe,